And welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you're watching us on Charter Channel 8, you can see us several times throughout the day, or you can check us out on YouTube or blip.tv. They're all great places that you can find us if you miss us on Charter Channel 8. We also want to remind you that if you like us on Facebook, what will happen is two things. First of all, Leanne uploads them to Facebook. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when we have a new show, you can go onto the Facebook page and there will be. Also, when you like us, you can be entered to win a pair of Steele County Blades home game tickets. The season's just coming. It's probably winding up pretty soon here, so you want to get in and like that right away and enjoy that opportunity of getting together with family and watching some hockey this season. Also, if for some reason you don't have Facebook, you can always email us at owatonnatoday@charter.net and let us know you're interested in a pair of tickets. That is also the email address. You'll send us information. If you've got some great ideas of something you'd like to see right here on the show, give us an email, or you can call Leanne at 390-5751. Let her know some of the things that you've been thinking about so we can get those on the show as well. And we do want to welcome our brand new supporter, the Coda Living Community and Park Place Senior Living. Thank you so much for joining us right here on the Owatonna Today Show. We're so excited. Coming up for you, I'm going to jail. Yep, we're going to be looking at the Steele County Detention Center, so stick with us.
Hello, I'm Sean McNulty.
And I'm Deb Gillard with Brookdale Senior Living, Sterling House, and Clarebridge of Owatonna.
And we are a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now, I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltvet of Horizon Eye Care Professionals. Eye care you can trust. We're proud supporters of Owatonna Today.
And welcome to the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Shelley Whitehead. I am now at the Steele County Detention Center, and I want you to join me as we take a quick tour of this facility and meet some of the people who make this facility work. I have with me right now, I have Ron Hamman, Dick Wandrey, and Jen Pfeifer. Hello, welcome.
Welcome. Hi.
Okay,
Hi.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the microphone and let you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do here at the facility.
Okay. My name is Ron Hamman. I am the jail administrator, and I was appointed under Sheriff Lon Teely. And since then, we've developed this management team. Basically, I'm in charge of operations of this facility and rely heavily on my team.
Very good. Okay, sir.
My name is Dick Wandrey. I'm Capt and I'm Ron's assistant. I'm in charge of arranging transports and second in command after Ron if he's not here.
Okay, there you go.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Jen Pfeifer, and I am currently in charge of the programming that happens in the facility, the training, and any other assistance that I can be to these two.
Good. So do I call you Captain? Is that what I call you? Or
You call Dick Captain.
Captain, you call you Lieutenant, and then I call you what?
Ron is fine.
Well, what we're going to do, Ron, is take a quick tour, and I think what we'll start with is go to the visitation area, and because it's a little bit different from what people I think have seen on TV.
Okay.
So I think what we'll do is give them a view of that. Sound good?
Okay.
All right, let's head over there.
All right. I'm sorry, Leanne.
Oh, sorry. And we're at the visitation area for the Steele County Detention Center. Ron, tell us a little bit about this. It's different from what we see in television.
It is. And what we have happen is we have the general public come in to see their loved ones, family members, or whatever. They would come in and they would check in with records. Inmates are allowed 3 20-minute visits a day per inmate. We have numerous amounts of visiting times for them to all attend and get that thing. Visits are kind of important. It shows family support. The people we deal with, 95 out of 100, are going to be released right back in the community, not necessarily going to prison.
So anyone who has a visitor, it is through this video conferencing?
Yes.
And tell me a little bit how that works.
Okay, so they check in, we flip the switch, they come here, they sit at this chair, or this one, They pick up the monitor. On the other side, the inmate will show up on the monitor, and they'll have a 20-minute conversation, and in the end, we shut it off.
Okay. Why is this change made instead of the old glass system that they used to have?
It's done for a lot of reasons. One, for our staffing plan. It helps cut down on the number of staff that we actually need to facilitate visits. The inmates actually stay in their unit where the housing unit officer is. They report to a spot just like this within their housing unit. They sit down and they talk. They never leave the unit. We're eliminating pad searches, everything else. Here, the public does not have to enter into the main jail. We're eliminating contraband issues and providing a safer environment for inmates and staff alike.
And it's very techno.
Yes, it is.
All right, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a look at one of the pods that's not in use right now, and there's some potential for that, and talk a little bit about the history of this Steele County Detention Center and the jails before that. So stick with us. We'll be right back. And we're at the Steele County Detention Center. Right now we are in what's called the minimum security pod. This is right now, as you can see, has no inmates in it because they have decided to close it down for a while. And we're going to actually talk to Mr. Wandrey. I know, I totally called you the wrong name. I do that. I warned Leanne. I do that all the time.
It does happen.
But Captain, what we're going to do is talk a little bit. I'd like you to tell your story. Tell me a little bit about how you started out with Steele County and the changes you've seen over the years.
Okay, I started out with Steele County back in 1986. That's when the jail was down on Main Street, and at that time it was only a 20-bed jail. And we housed, well, it was actually 24. We housed 20 male and 4 female.
Now, did you have the keys outside the jail cell like we saw on the Andy Griffith show?
We carried the keys on us all the time. So we'd do our half-hour checks. We'd go to each unit, and at that time there was 4 units plus 2 girl units, and then 2 holding cells, and we had the keys to every door.
And how long had that jail been?
That was built in 1972.
Okay.
And with all the electronics and all this stuff, and with the nature of crimes and all this, they decided to come out here and build a nice big jail.
So they went from the 24-bed to how many beds do we have now?
We have 160.
160 beds. Right now, though, those aren't, obviously, we just showed this entire facility. This pod is not being used. And the other pods are most full?
Pretty close to being full. We're sitting at about right around 64, 65 inmates. It varies from week to week.
What is the biggest change from when you began working in the system to what you see today?
Are you talking inmate-wise or sure. Electronically-wise? A lot of stuff has changed. Inmate-wise, nature of crimes have changed, more drug use, pretty much everything.
It gets boring if it stays the same. So.
Yeah, it's a totally different experience. Every day you come to work, it's something new. You're always learning from either the business or from the inmates, you know, how to interact with people and all that stuff.
It's very highly interpersonal working in this kind of industry.
You got to have a good communication with the inmates and with everybody that works there, line staff, everything. You got to be able to find out what's going on and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about changes, and we're going to hopefully see a change here. But first of all, what we want to do is talk to you a little bit about the process that people have when they first come to the system. So why don't you tell us, when they drive up to the Steele County Detention Center, what kind of things they'll see?
Well, generally they don't drive up. They're chauffeured in. So they have a built-in ride to get here. They'll enter through our receiving garage. The arresting officer will fill out some paperwork. They'll meet with our intake or booking officer, and they will ask everything from medical questions, inventory, money, property, make sure they're okay. We start right when they walk in the door with expectations. They come in, you know, we don't have the bars anymore like Dick was talking about in the old building. Everything, there's no bars here. They come in, they see a soft waiting area, they see, you know, a phone, a TV. You know, if their behavior is appropriate, grab a seat, we'll get to you in a few minutes. You know, call someone, let them know where you are, and we'll get to your other needs in just a minute. If their behavior is not appropriate, we have holding cells right there. And they'll walk in and they'll eventually see people acting up and being in themselves. Everything we do here is behavior-based and how they get along. So after the booking process, an inmate would enter a classification process. And in that classification process, we're determining how well they're going to fit in with others. We're looking at everything from their history of behavior within our facility, current charges, past charges, convictions, everything that's available to us we utilize as a classification tool. We assign points to it, and we try to separate them accordingly to manage risk within their facility, keep everybody safe.
And I think that's a very huge part of your job, is making sure that you put people in the appropriate places to keep everyone safe.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about the changes you've seen. How long have you been working with the facility and some of the changes you've seen?
I started in 1993, so I'm just closing up on 20 years here, and I've seen a lot of what Dick's seen when he started. I was fortunate enough to transition into this. In the transition here, I started as a training compliance sergeant, and with that, it afforded me lots of opportunities to learn about all these processes, be able to train others in these processes, how this would look, how the philosophy should be behind this, and treat people with respect. The people that we're dealing with are people that are going to go back to the community for the most part, and they're people you're going to see on the street. So be positive.
One of the things I think that I found most fascinating in speaking to you is that you treat people as long as they're acting in an adult fashion. And so you talked a little bit about, Leanne, I don't know if you can pan behind you and show, actually, you talked a little bit about one of the benefits of behaving like an adult. You do give them, I guess, what would you call it?
A privilege.
A privilege. So talk a little bit about the privilege that you have here in this facility.
One of the privileges we're talking about when we do classification is location within the facility. If they're housed downstairs, they are not allowed to come upstairs. In this particular facility, if their behavior is appropriate, we could house them upstairs, and one, they would get this view of the outside. What this also does is allows them to look onto the garden, see other inmates out there working in the summer. We have 3 gardens out there, and it gets them interested. How do I get involved in this? What do I do to be able to do that?
Mm-hmm. Well, and Jen was telling me that for me, I see the daylight every day. It's something that I have a privilege of doing. And so a lot of times the people who are in facilities like this don't get to see any natural daylight. So I see that you do use that in this facility.
It is required that we have that daylight. We're one of the only facilities that actually has a borrowed light concept, where we have no exterior windows except for north and south, so not each cell has a window. Huge savings to the taxpayers.
Yeah, that's good. Well, we're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be speaking with Jen, and of course you as well, about what's going to happen with this pod and actually some of the opportunities that they have here in the facility for those detainees. Stick with us.
I'm Diane Wilson of Profinium Financial, the bank that helps you achieve your financial dreams. Profinium Financial is proud to be a supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
The Owatonna Police Department would like to remind you to drive safely this winter season. Clear all snow and ice from your vehicle's windows before driving on the road. Turn on your headlights to increase your visibility to other drivers. Reduce your speed to match the road conditions. Increase the distance between you and the vehicle ahead of you. Approach all intersections with caution as if they were slippery. Doing these simple things will decrease your chances of becoming involved in a fender bender this winter season.
Hello, my name is Shannon Cliff. I'm the Patient Services Manager at Mayo Clinic Health System in Owatonna. I'd like to talk with you about our same-day clinic. Starting at 7 o'clock, you can call into the clinic where we will look for an appointment with your primary care provider. The second option, we would look to our same-day clinic to book an appointment. The third option would then be to have you walk into our facility to be seen. If you have any questions regarding same-day appointments, we'd be happy to answer them. Please call 451-1120.
Hi, this is Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better. At Amy Swain Hearing Centers, we offer many different brands of hearing instruments because everyone has a different lifestyle. Let me, Dr. Amy Swain, help you find the best hearing device for your hearing needs at Amy Swain Hearing Centers of Owatonna, Austin, and Waseca. Call 1-800-804-3361 for an appointment today, or visit my website at www.amyswainhearingcenters.com, because you deserve to hear better.
Hi, I'm Brenda with the Mortgage Office of Brenda Bednar, aligned with American Mortgage and Equity Consultants, where closings feel right from the beginning. I'm a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, my name is Dave Olson and I'm with R&K Electric, where we provide power to the people. We're proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
and we're back at the Steele County Detention Center. We are in what was called the minimum security pod. Tell us a little bit about, Ron, what this was used for, when it was open, and tell us when it was closed too.
Actually, we closed the pod last December. Okay. It was minimum security inmates and work release inmates. We would house minimum security inmates downstairs. They were required to attend programming as part of a condition for being in this pod and having these privileges. And work release were allowed work release privileges. They'd be out throughout the course of the day and come back in. They would come through the locker rooms. Mm-hmm. The focus here is really situational adult environment. Tables are not bolted to the floor. They're not stainless steel. Actually, our toilets are porcelain.
That's a big deal.
and it is. And there's carpet. And as we're preparing them to go back into society, these are things that would be normal to them out there. Create that environment, create that expectation, help them perform to that expectation.
Mm-hmm. But we're looking towards a future for this pod.
Well, we are. We are looking at trying to repopulate this pod, not necessarily with our inmates, with other inmates that help offset our costs. So if we take in inmates from other facilities, that in turn help offset our costs, it costs us less to operate. Actually, the brains behind this right now is Jen Pfeifer, our lieutenant, and she's been working on this project, along with myself, but she's doing most of the work, so she should talk right now.
They keep trying not to talk. I don't know why. It's kind of funny. Jen, tell us a little bit about what are some of the thoughts. We talked about it's to try and help finance what's going on here, but talk about some of the projects that you're thinking about this facility being used for.
Okay. One of the first direction that we went in was to work with the Department of Corrections to house their inmates that have been sentenced for felony DWI. There was a trend a few years ago, once you got to a certain point, certain number of DWIs, you were going off to prison. And what we thought we could do here, because we offer all kinds of programming that deals with chemical dependency and some other things that I'll talk about later, we thought that this environment would be the perfect place for those inmates. So they were all in one spot, they were getting chemical dependency treatment, and we thought we could help them deal with their overcrowding issues. What happened was that they aren't as overcrowded as they thought they were going to be, and so at this point we're not looking at that right now. I hope to develop that program a little bit further and maybe present that to them down the future. So I don't want to say goodbye to that idea because I think it's great, and I think that overall it helps everybody. So what we're looking at now is possibly a detox unit. This county spends a tremendous amount of money sending people to detox facilities. The closest one that we have is in Albert Lea, but we also go as far as Zumbro in Rochester, and that costs about twice as much as it does to take people to Albert Lea. So what we thought was, hey, why don't we see if we can turn this pod into a detox facility. And when I say detox facility, I'm not talking a medical detox, because of course those people would need to go to the hospital. Okay, so we're not going to be using IVs and those kinds of things in there.
Sure, you want to use IVs?
No. We'd just be housing those people that needed a safe environment to
transition.
To get sober in. So what I'm doing right now is I'm working with the Department of Health, because they would be in charge of the licensing, and the Department of Human Services, both at the state level and the local level. So Charity Flowen, our Human Service Director, has been working with me on that project. It's amazing. Well, not really amazing. I'm not really shocked, but there's a lot of requirements through the state as just the actual structure of the facility. So the point that we're at now is we're waiting for the Department of Health to come down and look at the actual structure first to see if it's conducive to that environment.
And then the steps after that are the training. You'll have to do more staff training, I'm guessing?
Yes. One of the obviously the things that we have to follow are all the Minnesota statutes that come with chemical dependency. We have to have a different set of staff to work in here, but what we can do is pull from so many other counties, because there are not a lot of local detox facilities. So we could pull, it sounds kind of funny that, well, let's just pull people here, but Blue Earth County As far as Mankato, they don't have a facility that's close to them. Rice County, is still taking people to Albert Lee, and if those counties are spending as much money on detox facilities that we are, we're hoping to draw some of that income to help us offset our
Again,
costs.
offset the costs. Why not use this facility if you have? Good. Jen, I'd like to continue this conversation. Jen also helps coordinate a lot of the programs here for those detainees, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Sound good? All right. We'll be right back. And so we're back at the Steele County Detention Center. Right now we're in the library, and this, I believe, is allowed for most of the inmates to come and use when certain times. And Jen, we're going to talk a little bit with you about some of the programs like this library that you have here at the Detention Center for those people. So let's start off with talking about some of the programs that you have for those who might be here for a little bit longer than a couple of days.
Okay. First and foremost, we have a lot of people that come in that have alcohol or drug issues. So we offer a lot of programming, AA, NA, some education piece. But for those that are here longer, we have an actual outpatient treatment program in the facility. So we also have parenting, job skills. We have GED. You can actually get your GED while here that the inmates do pay for. And we also have a college class. We have Riverland Community College across the street, and their students come and take their college classes here with the inmates. We have 3 classes. We have a social justice class, a world religions class, and an art program that we do here. So besides that, we have like a stress management and anger management.
I need to sign up for those personally. So, but what do you think one of the more popular courses or programs that you have here at the facility?
All of our drug and alcohol classes are pretty popular. We have a lot of people that attend AA. We have a lot of people that attend Bible studies. We have Crisis Resource Center and anger management, which are 2 other huge issues here for those that have anger issues and domestic abuse problems. And then parenting. We have parenting for both men and women, and the people that come in here to do that do a really good job, and I feel like the inmates engage in that pretty well.
And what is the goal of these programs as for when they are released?
The goal is to teach them something that they didn't know before they got here. I mean, change is a very long process, and we don't expect to necessarily change everybody. But if we can give them one little bit of information, one little tidbit on how to parent correctly, then we're doing our job. We have a big reentry program called the CARE program, where we actually sit down with a team of people and go through a systematic approach of helping someone reintegrate back in the community. So all the programs do that, but if we can just give them one bit of information that they didn't have before they came here, we're ahead.
And is part of the reentry program also dealing with some of the perceptions that other people might have against them from just being released?
Yes. We actually have people from the community that come into those meetings that help us with housing and employment, and they see that these people go through a lot of struggles based on their past history. But in the long run, people in this community have started to realize that it's better for them, it's better for everybody if we start preparing them, because otherwise they're going to go back out and do the same stuff.
Well, and I wanted to talk about the people that you have coming here. You do actually have quite a vibrant community of people who come and volunteer. Let's talk a little bit about that, and if anyone is interested in becoming a part of that process, how they can.
Okay. We have several volunteers, and they really make all the things that we do possible. Contributing their time and that resource is valuable to us. If anybody from the community is interested in volunteering, they'll fill an application process, and they would meet with Jessica, Cindy, or Jen to get involved in this, get checked out, make sure they're good to go. Obviously, we want to keep everybody safe, so we take these precautions. Worst case scenario, they'll at least know where they stand on their record.
It's kind of like a credit report.
Kind of.
And really, just in the last few seconds that we have, tell us some of the programs that people could volunteer for.
Basically, AA has been a good one where we get some people that had been here a long time ago and they've straightened their lives out. One thing might not be necessarily a program, but something I noticed in the last couple months. Inmates that tend to have family support tend to do a lot better when they get out. And if nothing else, if not volunteering here, realize that sometimes good people make mistakes, and be there to support them, help them out, because if they're family or whatever, it makes a difference.
That's really good. Thank you so much. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you as well, Jen. And thank you for joining us here at the Steele County Detention Center. We'll be right back with the Owatonna Today Show.
Hi, I'm Mike.
And I'm Jake with Napa Auto Parts.
Napa has the know-how for all your automotive needs.
Napa is a proud supporter of the Owatonna Today Show.
Have you talked to your teen about marijuana lately? Maybe you should. Regular marijuana use can sap a teen's motivation to learn. Users do not live up to their potential and drop out of positive activities. Marijuana affects memory and learning and stays in your system for weeks. Marijuana also affects judgment and perception. Reaction time when driving is reduced by 41% after smoking 1 joint and 63% after smoking 2, affecting the safety of your teen and other drivers on the road. You need to talk to your teen about the effects of marijuana use. It's not just a harmless high. For more information, please contact the Steele County Safe and Drug-Free Coalition.
Hi, I'm Jan Hansen, and I am at A+ So and Back, the fun place to be. We are proud supporters of the Owatonna Today Show.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. You want to see something magic? Watch this. This is magic. Leanne and I just so you know, Leanne and I have a lot of fun here at the Owatonna Today Show. So should you ever want to come and hang out with us, please do. We have a good time. What we want to do right now is give you some ideas of some of the community events that are coming up so you can get them on your calendar. This Friday, or excuse me, this Saturday, it's Coffee with the Owatonna City Council at Hy-Vee from 9 to 10 this Saturday, February 2nd. Go ahead and have some coffee with some of your local people who actually or not support you, but represent you in the city. Talk to them about some of the concerns you might have, or hear what they have to say about the upcoming year and what they've got on their plate as far as what they'd like to see for Owatonna. Check that out. That is this Saturday from 9 to 10. The Steele County Historical Society had a great USO dance this last Saturday, and they're still got lots more programs for you, including their Smithsonian exhibit ribbon cutting ceremony that's coming up this Saturday. It's an exhibit called The Way We Worked, and this is a cooperative venture with the Smithsonian. The exhibit features the cultural work of the United States for the past 100 years. It's the first time a Smithsonian exhibit has come to Steele County. That's pretty cool, and the ceremony is set for this Saturday at 10:30 at 2. Please join them. The exhibit itself is open from February 2nd through March 15th. You can come and check out the ribbon cutting ceremony, and there will be free admission this Saturday. So it's a great opportunity for you to get over there and see it if you haven't had that chance. We want to remind you that the 9th annual Chili Cook-Off is this Saturday, February 2nd at the Owatonna National Guard Armory. This cook-off is to benefit the Andrew Lawrence Memorial Scholarship Fund, and we had them on last week. We talked about what a great kid Andrew was and this great opportunity we have. Tickets are available at $6 in advance or $7 at the door. For a whole family, it's only $25, and you get to eat all sorts of chili if you like it. They also have hot dogs, unlimited desserts. It's a lot of fun. That's coming up this Saturday from 4 to 8 at the Owatonna Armory. And we want to remind you, Owatonna Art Center is always a great place to go and get a little bit of culture right here in Owatonna. That includes local artist Julie Bronson, as she has her solo photography exhibit called Vanishing Beauty. And that is opening this February 3rd, which is Sunday, from 1 to 4. And it captures the often hidden face of bygone days. So check that out at the Owatonna Art Center. We'll see you on Friday when we're going to be talking Girl Scouts. Yay! And then we've got another thing. Where is it, Leanne? Clothesline fundraiser. Check us out on Friday. See you then.